Hola a todos, and welcome back to the Rise Differently podcast. I am so excited that you are here. Thank you for being here because you know that every time that you enter in this space, I don't take your energy, your time for granted because you could be anywhere else in the world, but yet you decided to be here, to come back, to tune in because you know deep down inside that you are ready to rise in a different way. So thank you for that. And for those of you who are new here, welcome. And for those of you who are returning, just thank you so much for being here and for trusting me in this part of your journey. And so let's go ahead and get into it. I hope you have your tea, your cafecito, whatever beverage that you have. And if you're driving, be careful and let's just be grounded together in this moment where I want to acknowledge first off how hard it's been in our community, everything that's been happening in Minneapolis, everything that continues to happen in our community. And it's been very heavy, very hard to show up. And for many of us, we are continuing to process how to even keep moving forward, how to process our emotions, because this time is very, very heavy. And I wanted to just acknowledge that. There is no other words, and I wish that I had other words to describe how to keep us going in this journey, to let your heart feel better. But the reality is that many of us, we need to feel. We need to feel the frustration. We need to feel the anger. We need to feel the sadness. We need to feel any other emotions that are coming up. And it is really hard to show up as a leader, as an entrepreneur, as someone who's trying to build a business to specifically support more women of color and Latinas in their healing journeys, in their transformation journeys, into rising in a different way than what they've already known before, to remove the overperformance and be able to experience more peace, clarity, and intentional living. And it's been really hard as someone who is continuously trying to do that because something along the way is that a lot of that's happening in our community is there to cause so much fear. And many of us were feeling that because, again, it's so valid. How do we not experience fear when everything that's happening in the world, it's so scary? And in the ways that for many of you who know your history, it feels like history is repeating itself and not in a good way. And showing up, being visible, sharing your voice feels shaky. It feels very unknown. We don't know what's going to happen if we continue to show up that way. And it's all valid. And I want to continuously validate that and to give you permission to feel, because in order for us to move forward, we do need to feel this out. Unfortunately, it's one of the things about healing and transforming where this is the messy middle. This is the hard part of being radically honest and accepting of what is happening in our world. It's so hard. So put your hands on your heart, hug yourself if needed, because this is the hard part. And yet, I'm here because I want to empower you in these moments. I want to provide some ways for you to be able to find how to rise in these moments where it feels hard, where it feels chaotic, where it feels unknown, where it feels scary, and insert the rest of the emotions that we're all feeling collectively. But I'm going to stretch you a bit. I want us to not be afraid and to hide and to not show up, because these are the moments now more than ever that we as a community need to gather and stay united and continuously show up. As a first generation Latina that comes from a Mexican background, and I think about my ancestors in this sense, we come from such a powerful lineage of people that were warriors, that fueled themselves with resilience and fueled themselves with strength, that they moved in life knowing that it was hard, but they still kept moving forward. When I sit with that thought, something inside of me changes. And I hope that you feel it too, because if you are someone who deeply honors your ancestry and where you come from, and when you think about going far back as to what our people represented, we represent that. And when I think about my parents, again, as a first generation Latina, proud Mexicana, proud Mexican American, because I was born here, okay? My parents, when they came to the US, they envisioned a whole different life for me and for my siblings. They envisioned a place where I would be free, where I would be able to have more access opportunities, to things that they never had before, and to have a better quality of life. And so when I think about that and all the things that they had to endure to come here and the sacrifices that they made, I think about, again, the resilience, the strength, the warrior-like spirit that lived within them because they had to fight. They had to fight for the quality of life that I have today. And when I think about history and I think about all of the walkouts that happened in California, where there were people fighting for our educational rights, where Cesar Chavez and Dolores Huerta fought for the farm workers, where there was also immigration issues that were happening back then, and people advocated, protested, and made sure that we had more rights to what we have moving forward. I think about those people. And even if they're not connected to me by blood, it is my raza. It is the raza that continues to fuel me and remind me of what I'm actually capable of. And I know that there is a lot of fear-inducing things happening in this world. And politically, I'm not the wisest of them all, okay? But this is what I do know, is that when I think about where I come from and who I come from, it gives me strength. It gives me hope. It reminds me that I am capable of more and that I am capable of fighting for what is right and for what is justice for all. And I hope that that empowers you to remember, to take the time to actually remember and reconnect on where you come from, where your family comes from, what your cultura, raza represents. And as you move through this, I also want you to take care of yourself, because that piece of radical acceptance and honesty is going to be the hard part of what's currently happening today. And so what I'm doing here is I'm reminding you to, yes, go back into the remembrance, reconnect with yourself, look at the past history of what your lineage of who you represent. And I want you to sit with that. And I want you to see, to feel what emotions, what thoughts, what memories come up for you. And my hope is that it is strength, that it is resilience, that it reminds you of the warrior essence and spirit that lives within you, that it reminds you of your strengths, of whatever your God-given gifts are, your skills that you've developed over the years because of the things that your parents have done for you or for the people that have come before you that have been able to give you as part of their legacy for you to carry on in this moment. It's not by accident that you are here in this time and in this place, because whatever is happening now is our moment to rise and show up in whatever that capacity might be. But it is to show up, whether it's calling your senators, whether it's donating to a good nonprofit or organization that is supporting with everything that's happening right now, whether it's going to protest, but do it safely, okay? Using your platforms more than ever to speak up about what is wrong and how to move with more justice, with more love, with more empathy, modeling to our communities what it is to actually live and coexist with each other. Whatever that is for you, implement it, do it, take action, and honor your capacity. Because I know it's so easy to doom scroll and to want to be updated with everything that's happening, but take care of yourselves. Take care of yourself mentally, emotionally, spiritually, and physically. I also want to remind you that as you reconnect and remember about where you come from and who you represent, I also want you to understand this present moment of radical acceptance and radical honesty and feeling what's going through it, because we're not going to push away the feelings. We're going to honor what comes up. Next is self-care. Take care of yourself. Check in with your capacity. Meditate a little bit more. If you believe in God or a higher power, go into the Word and see what it is that needs to be revealed to you, or connect with your past ancestors. Connect whoever it is that you have the most faith in right now, because faith is needed more than ever. So you do not get discouraged in these moments and times. So self-care is the third. Whatever that might mean to you, and whether it's moving your body more and going outside, do that. Connect with Mother Earth, connect with nature, and allow your spirit, your emotional state, your physical state to be refueled, to feel nurtured, to remind it that it is safe, regardless of what is happening on the outside. Because there is one thing that I know us high achievers are really good at, is that we sometimes want to control everything around us. But I'm going to stretch this here a little bit, and I'm going to remind you that we can't control what's outside of us, but what we can control is ourselves. And that is by implementing more self-care and checking in with yourself to see what your capacity is and what you need and how to nurture and take care of yourself, because that's going to create safety. And next, align with community right now. Gather with community. Find your group, because ahorita to be alone is going to be one of the hardest things that we do to ourselves. We need people. We need people that we trust, people that will bring comfort, people that will hold us when we feel a little weak sometimes, or we feel a little low on energy. We need other people to help us get up, because it's very easy to stay down in these very moments, or to want to hide and to want to be alone and disconnected. But remember, this is the whole intention of why everything is happening, is to cause that. But in order for us to be the change, we have to be able to show up in a way where we're going against what it is that they want. So that means that we have to stay connected with each other more than ever. So find your community, find the people that will hold you in this moment, even if it's just friends and you guys are sending funny memes to each other. Do that, because you need to take care of you and allow yourself to be carried by other people. Because I know, again, as high achievers, we want to do it all by ourselves, to be the strong ones y todo. But this is the time to redefine strength, because you don't have to be the strong one alone. You can be strong with other people. Let other people carry you in this moment. Don't feel the need of wanting to carry it all, especially if you are a community leader out there that is trying to lead other people. You have to take care of yourself a little extra. For those of you who are showing up at work, the ones who are leading in their families, take care of yourself extra, because you can't do it alone. We need community more than ever. So this is a short and sweet and simple episode, because right now we need to remind each other more than ever that we are in this together, that we can't do this alone, that these moments are very heavy, and that many things for our future feel very uncertain. But I do know what's happening right now in this present moment. And it's about moving one step at a time, while taking care of ourselves, while gathering with community, while remembering where we come from and who you represent and who you are in this very moment, to move forward. That is the whole point of this episode, is the reminder to empower you, to take care of you, to remember who you represent, about gathering with community, and just allowing yourself to move forward. Let yourself move forward, because your light is needed. Your voice is needed now more than ever. And this is the time to just remind each other that we're not in this alone. We're honoring everything that's happening in our internal worlds of how we feel. But I hope that this episode supported you to feel more empowered, to stretch you a little bit in wherever it is that you are, and that allows you to move forward. So continue to take care of yourself. Continue to fight for what is right, for justice, for peace, for love, for unity, for respect. Fight for all of the things that matter most, especially for us to be able to create a safe community, a safe environment, a safe nation where we can all continue to gather, no matter the differences that we have. Because our differences is what makes us beautiful. It's what makes us unique and powerful. And in time, my hope is that the world will see that, and to see the beautiful things that we as brown immigrants and first gen and all of the people that make this world so beautiful and blended. I hope that the world can see the beauty in that one day. And let's continue to remind people that, let's model what that looks like and continue this journey, to continue this lucha that is so needed more than ever. And that's how we're going to rise, but in a different way. We're going to rise in how we honor our capacity, how we honor our emotions, how we honor to move forward, and how we honor to remember where we come from. So let's continue this rise journey together. Do it differently, do it more aligned, do it with more intention, and do it with more peace. So please take care of yourselves in these times, and just know that I am here for each and one of you. Until next time, I will see you in the next episode. Cuídense mucho, mi gente.